Now, talking about space, what we have had to contend with is the fact that Lagos State government seems to have a very non-inclusive conception of megacity development. They seem to believe that you have a megacity when you have huge blocks of buildings everywhere, and that poor people who over time have secured places for themselves to work are at best irritants, at worst criminals. And that informed their attitudes to how they deal with informal workers. So it's disheartening that even in spaces that were directly awarded by government for informal workers to work in, government still come back to surreptitiously take these spaces from them. And this has been a cause of very serious frictions.
Do big cities need to formalise? Should informal economy workers formalise? There's been a huge international debate led by the International Labour Organization, which passed Resolution 204 in 2015. And their objective is to facilitate transition of workers from the informal to the formal economy. However, this is done within a human rights perspective to strengthen livelihoods and not to destroy jobs. It is very easy to destroy jobs. It's hugely difficult to create them.
So the first one we'll be going to, at least from the plan, is to get to the Tejo market. As you quite a number of us know the Tejo market, so it was a densely populated market before, but recently it was redeveloped. So a lot of informal workers are now on the edges, and now there's a massive structure there, whereby previous traders in the market really don't have a space there anymore. They are now on the edges.
But most of the shops are empty. No occupancies there. The ones that are being occupied are being given to, I would say, people that are connected in the society, in political regime. So most of the displaced people does not have this capacity to collect the place. And the ones that had peak lamps, there's no light in the place. So they're always in the darkness.
Right now, I have a little portion, peak lamp, we call it, we are managing. Like I've told this lady the other time, that was a week ago, that the place is fine, but compared to the exact business I'm doing, it will hardly accommodate me, because what I do is what means running the 24 hours in a day with electricity. We cut the material, we sew it, we iron it, we put button, we put it in use. So I need that constant electricity that is affordable.
Some of those people that are here.
Because from here to here, every day 500 naira, and we close very early. We resume here by 6. Close by 12. Yes. No, I don't know about them. They will chase away.
12 in the daytime?
12 in the afternoon. That's the legal time we're supposed to live here. So anything after 12, you are on your own. They can arrest you.
Yeah. We've been here for the past 35 years. This place was a swamp then. The water lodge. There were no houses there when we got here. We went to Ministry of Transportation. They came down here with Ministry of Environment, Physical Planning and Urban Region. They came down here, inspected this place, and this place was allocated to us in 1982. And we started paying them rents all since then. But in 2007, the Ministry of Environment came there here on Sunday, pulled down this place. We organized a protest down to Alausa then.
That was during the regime of Fashola. Although he was not in the office, but the CSO was in the office. He asked us what was the problem. We told him there was an illegal demolition, which he confirmed it was an illegal demolition. Again, they came in November last year. All we did, there was no notice, nothing. We saw bulldozer and black man. Why are you people here? What for? Said they want to come and remove the containers. Containers are not just, they didn't grow up on their own. The containers are meant for us to sit down, our food seller and our spare part seller. Even if you want us to remove it, you will tell us. You give us a notice, we'll remove it. Not you coming down to pull that, then you are going to destroy. We resisted them, just like the chairman said while we were in the bus. So they went, only for them to come back and reinforce themselves on the 27th of December last year. Holiday, public holiday on the 27th. It was a public holiday after the Christmas. They came down again, Black Maria. The worst part of it is they didn't come with task force men. Because anywhere they are doing demolition, they go out with task force. But this time around, they came with MP military police. And they removed their tags, removed their names.
The plate number of the vehicle.
But because they were harmed, we couldn't do anything. So we were watching while they were destroying our sweat. Yes. So they invited the director down, the following meeting. What biased everybody was, the first statement that man made, he said he hates mechanics. Then my chairman stood up and said, why? He said, because we are dirty people. We pour all on the ground everywhere.
But the challenge that you have is at the moment, if you keep these workers, informal workers, in this twilight zone where they're not legal, but on the other hand, they're sort of tolerated and paying bribes when they're still on the street, what they actually look like on the street is dreadful. And it's not doing anyone a favor. It's undermining the city, but worst of all, it's actually humiliating the workers themselves, who really see themselves in pretty abject conditions, running away from the police, can't put up any proper infrastructure because it's going to get confiscated, so they can't invest in their businesses. So everything ends up being in a degraded kind of environment. So the first thing is, if you want to transform your city, to make it part of the program, to me, seems to be quite a logical thing to do.
Information. So you're hearing the information now. This used to be a very big community, and this is what we are talking about. A lot of people were rendered homeless. Many people died in the process. Children were thrown out of school. Many women had to turn themselves into sex workers in order to make ends meet, because there was separation. Some were separated totally. Some went their different ways. The husband went to patch out in different areas, and the women started coping with the children. And we have a savings group. We have about 3 savings groups in this community. What do? Saving, that's empowering ourselves, planning to upgrade our community. If the government is willing to give us security of tenure, and they are willing to have a participatory effort, we are not asking for their money. What we are asking for is, give us security of tenure. Give us the idea of what you want it to be like.
Communicating is kind of difficult. Why? Because what they see as priority is not what we see government as priority. For them is we want to feed. For them is give me money now to do stuff. I don't know if you understand. So we're having a difference in priorities. We want you to have a better living, want you to have an education. I don't want to go to school. I just want the money right now. So I'm going to blame my fathers for this problem. But do we have a solution? Can we find remedy to this problem? I think yes. So the imagination we're having of not having a separatist kind of settlement might be difficult in the Nigeria of today. I would instead advocate that, which might not be the popular thing here. Let's try and get low-cost housings as Jakonde did. That's not so expensive as against the high rising we have now. And you can't say anything for anything less than 25 million. get that very cheap looking but very comfortable lifestyle.
Development, including urban development, is shifting from this government-led, top to bottom. It's shifting from that concept to co-creation, and I think that is what this workshop is about, co-creation, which is the people-led, community-led, bottom-up. We telling the government what is good for us, what we actually want. And that is where the word participatory comes in. What we have developed at the Nigeria Federation, which we tag Federation Affordable Housing and in situ community upgrade. Two things in one. Housing should be affordable. And then we could upgrade our community. And these are very good alternatives to forced eviction.
Because what we have had over the years is that people try to plan top to bottom. And it doesn't get us anywhere. For us to evolve workable and sustainable plans, there has to be communication between the policy makers, their agents. When I say agents now, the civil servants, the public officers, and the stakeholders in general.
The thing is that we shouldn't celebrate the informal sector. It's important for us to build the bridge for transition from informality into more formal, but not by killing those in that sector, but by making them more efficient and more effective for everybody's benefit.
And then if we are saying we actually want a smart city, it should be a city that is inclusive, where the poor are also accommodated. The poor live, the rich live, not an exclusive city. The city is not only meant for those who can afford to buy land in millions of naira and then build houses in millions of dollars where the walls are even imported. No, the city should also be able to accommodate those who render services to this rich, those who drive them, their nannies, those who are their megas, those who fetch water for them.